exhibition match preceding our tournament event. How about a little bit about John Thompson Jr. and Rita Justice, the adult bowlers that we'll be seeing today?
Well, should be an exciting match. Rita, as everybody knows, is probably the best woman bowler to come out of Delaware. And John Thompson has been a major league high caliber bowler for years.
All right, and their averages right now in a couple of different leagues are pretty much the same, both in the low 200s, from 200 to 205. So as far as that statistic is concerned, they're pretty much even. And I think we're just about ready to get underway. I do have John is leading off, and we'll be ready to go right now. And this is John Thompson Jr., the bowler. He's a man from Roselle, and just a couple of blocks away from his house, which is Price Lanes. We're bowling on lanes 47 and 48 of Holiday Lanes. Here's the first shot from John.
A little high, left a 3-6-10. Probably just a little bit tentative this early in the match. See what he does with it. He should move to the left to get the advantage of most of the lane to cover the spare, cut the angle down on the pins.
And you can see he has moved just a wee bit left on the approach. John Thompson Jr. and Rita Justice, opening exhibition match. And John's got that covered.
Good shot, just like the book.
And you see Rita Justice, who not only a top bowler in the state, Jules, but one of the top female bowlers in all the world, right?
Yes, sir. She won a tournament, a pro tournament, women's pro tournament in Japan in 1973. Probably one of the highlights of her career. She was also past president of the Women's Professional Bowlers Association.
And her first frame of action, a little light on the head pin, and she leaves the 2-4-8 combination.
Yeah, a little bit light. She's going to have to play that lane a little more direct. Watching in practice, she was light most balls on 48. 47, she had a much better shot on.
We'll have to see how she does in the second frame. We'll see her right immediately after this frame. And she's going to leave the 8-pin.
Yeah.
You got to really hit that 2-pin head on to cover that spare.
Yeah, you got to go straight back. You got to take that 2 and the 8 straight back. She was probably worried that the ball wasn't coming up on the first ball. It didn't give it enough room on the second ball, and caused her to miss it.
It's always tough to open up a game with an open frame, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Well, Rita's a professional caliber player. I'm sure that won't bother her.
So John Thompson Jr. with a spare in the first frame, and Rita Justice with a count of 9 after one frame. As see, we have a little trouble getting the
automatic scorekeeper there.
The scorekeeper is computerized here, and it is getting adjusted right now to get the score to the gallery, which is here. You can hear some applause in the background. That's because the juniors, the boys and the girls, are finishing up their preliminary events a few lanes down. So from time to time, you'll be hearing a little bit of noise from down that end. So Rita's now ready for her second frame, and it is now her with that first frame open with a 9 count.
Okay. All right.
Looks like it was there, left the 10.
Half pocket 10. Rita usually has a little trouble getting down with the legs. It looks like today, which is unusual for her, that her knee bend is actually a little premature, which cuts off the follow-through a little bit, which will cause that half pocket 10. This should be an easy shot for Rita. I spoke too soon, huh?
Just a couple of inches to the left, a couple of boards shy, and so Rita has started with 2 open frames here in this exhibition match. So that puts John up by 32 pins very early here in this contest. John left the 5-9 in the first frame and covered it, and this is his first shot on lane 48. Jules, as far as 48 was for him in practice, what do you think?
Well, he was getting the ball to come a little bit harder, but he's been light too. Now he got away with that one. That just touched the head pin, and he shook him out. That's called a break, but we're all entitled to a break now and then.
Now and again, you're right.
Yeah.
So with that strike, John, with 20 in the first, and he continues with that 32-pin lead.
I should be able to pop up on this 47 because 47 seemed to be a little better for both of them. Take advantage of the break he got on 48. If he can capitalize, he'll put Rita in trouble real early, but then it will be a 32-pin lead.
Also, we have, as I said, the junior bowlers going on down the lanes. There are 5 bowlers in each division, and they're doing the pro stair-step format. That is, the number 5 bowler goes up against the number 4 bowler. The winner of that match plays the number 3 bowler, and the winner of that match goes on to play the number 2 bowler. After we get that far, the final match comes to the number 1 seeded player, and that match we'll see on television a little later today. Some pretty experienced bowlers for their years, Jules.
A lot of promise, a lot of young people with a lot of promise. The real young ones still have a lot of the fundamentals to get down, but you're going to see it's a lot of promise out there, and I look for some real interesting matches.
Now we're dealing with people from the ages of, say, 9 to about 18. When do you think the best time is to really intensify their training?
Well, my personal opinion is you should probably wait till 14 to 15, but the earlier the better to develop the interest.
Alrighty. So taking that from my experience when I started bowling at age 8, I have to agree with you. Just out there for fun for a couple of years, and then once you get into your teenage years, you can well, go at it a little harder with a little more intensity.
Yeah.
We're set to go now. John Thompson Jr. versus Rita Justice, and we're in lane, or rather frame 3, with John up by 32 pins as Rita's had some tough luck early with a couple of open frames. Crosses over again. There it is again, John.
Wrong side of the head pin this time. He's going to have to get the ball to the right on 47. Like, it should be pretty obvious to both of them that 47's hooking quite a bit more than 48. And for him to be that far left is, he didn't take advantage of the break.
What sort of adjustment would a bowler have to make in that instance?
Well, the normal adjustment would be move your feet left, stick with close to the same target. However, the lanes may dictate something else, but I would say that that would be the normal adjustment.
John covers that one, and that leaves him with 40 in the second frame. He has a 22-pin lead, and of course he has the spare in the third frame. Now Rita Justice bowling in the third on the right of our pair, 47 and 48 here at Holiday Lanes. Bang that one.
Yeah. That was the one giving her some trouble. Now, you can probably look for her. If you remember the last time up, she left a half pocket 10 on the 47. She's probably going to throw the same shot, just try to get a little cleaner with her legs and release.
Now with that strike, she's picked up 10 pins on John as far as his big lead was concerned. It was 22 pins,
Still
now down to
22.
12.
It's still fun. It's still 22. She cut it off.
Still got them all.
Got a
And it's a
break.
double for Rita Justice.
I know she's happy with that one. She got a big break there. She chopped that right off and just pushed the 5 out. It was lighter. The last shot on that alley, she left a half pocket 10. The ball was up into the pocket. That one there never made it back to the pocket and pushed the 5 out.
So frames 3 and 4 are good for Rita Justice with a double. Now comes
it's a 12-pin
John.
lead.
Now it's
John.
John Thompson Jr. with that lead as he bowls in the fourth.
Good shot.
It's there.
Good shot. That's his best shot, including practice. Best shot of the day.
We did see them throw, I'd say, 10 to 15 balls in practice. And,
Yeah.
and you were saying to me, Jules, that the better the bowler the more practice they usually need, huh?
Well, their game is more proficient. It's more critical. Sort of like if you have a great big 500 horsepower engine, it's going to need a lot of more finer tuning than a little 90 horsepower VW. It's the same thing.
So the strike's starting to come in the match. Rita with 2 in a row, and John has struck on the right side both times up in this game. And again, he's gone over to the left side in lane 5.
He seems to be afraid to let the ball out on that alley. He's nice and free on the right-hand lane. He's got a lot of control in his swing. John doesn't have a free swing, which is probably his major flaw. Without the free swing, it will cause that tendency not to let the ball out. Should be able to pick this one up, though. I said that before with Rita, but this is a relatively easy spare for a right-hander.
It's the 6-10, and John Thompson has it.
From Sheehy Ford and the Sheehy Ford Truck Center, Wilmington, customer care
And his fine staff await you at beautiful Holiday Lanes in Claymont. You'll get good fun and good scores. Visit Holiday Lanes, where they have the latest in Brunswick automatic scoring. While you're at Holiday Lanes, visit the coffee shop, visit the game room, or maybe visit Jerry Stewart in the pro shop for your latest in bowling needs. Friday night videos are the latest fad at beautiful Holiday Lanes in Claymont.
John with 80 after 4 frames, a spare in the 5th, and Rita Justice with 2 strikes in a row now in the 3rd and 4th. She bowls in the 5th, and she only brought one home here on this right side last time out, and this one looks good too.
Within 2 pins now. Let's see what she does back on this lane. The other lane is where she got that little bit of a break. She pushed the 5 out, a little light. She knows what to do over there. Let's just see if she executes. We should be able to tell as the ball comes out of her hand.
Rita Justice showing the professional merit here, shaking off a couple of open frames and coming up with 3 in a row in frames 3 through 5. And she is working on those 3 right now in lane 47 here at Holiday, frame 6.
Looks like she lost her balance a little bit. Got a tremendous break again. It looks like she lost her balance a little bit that time. Might have stuck at the foul line.
Yeah, she did glance down there, but glancing back up, she saw the 5 and the 10 blow out at the last minute, and there she goes. Another strike. That's 4 in a row for Rita.
And that gives her an 8-pin lead.
And now 8 pins up on John Thompson Jr. as John bowls in lane 48 here at Holiday, frame 6.
He struck the last 2 times on this lane.
There's John. Now that was a good ball too.
Yeah, he's lined up on 48, and he hasn't hit the pocket yet on 47. Let's see what he does. All 3 balls were left of the head, left of the pocket on the left-hand alley. This is the 6th frame. It's about time he does something about it. He's coming up on in the 7th frame.
3 for 3 on the right side, but 0 for 3 on the left side, and that's turned out to be the story in this exhibition match so far, as Rita has found the secret of both lanes and put 4 in a row. John Thompson Jr. from Price Lanes at Price's
He's
Corner.
left again, way left.
This time missed the head pin. That's the first time that's happened in this match. Not a very good count, but then again, it is on a strike.
He's really going to have to pull something out of here because he's got to come up on that frame again in the 9th. And if he doesn't throw the ball with a little bit of authority, and a little bit of authority is what I want, he's going to be out to lunch because it doesn't look like Rita's going to slow down. That's a big spare, big spare.
It'd be tough, but he covered it.
Good spare. That was really important to keep the match within a mark.
And that's where it stands, as John now has 120 after 6 frames. He has a spare in the 7th. Rita, however, working on 4 strikes in a row as she bowls in the 7th.
8 pins. A little hard that time, a little hard.
And as a result, it slid by just a bit and it left her with the bucket. 2, 4, 5, 8.
She might have been a little gun shy because of the last time that she stuck on the other lane. If you remember, she missed a spare in the first frame, or a close, similar spare. Let's see what she does with this one.
A spare here would give her a 14-pin lead.
No, it would be a 4-pin lead.
There it is. She covered it.
It's a 4-pin lead. She had an 8-pin lead. She gave 4 of them back with the pack, so it's a 4-pin lead. The match is really close.
Well, let's see. We got Rita with 134 and a spare now. after 6. John with a 120 after 6. He has a spare in the 7th. I got it at 14, Jules.
Okay.
Okay.
You're
So
right.
Rita going back here, she had struck the previous 2 times on the left side. She does it again. Whoops.
Okay. She got a couple breaks on 47. Now she made a better shot on 47 to strike.
Alrighty, and correcting our score now, let's get it straight. Rita has 144 after 7 frames with that strike in the 8th. Jules has found a error in my math here early in the game.
This is the lane he's hitting. All right. Let it get away on him. Come up a little high. Gets a little cautious. See that? The game that he has with that lack of a swing, and he carries the ball. Every time the heat gets on a little bit, the tendency is to go through the nose, because without the free swing, the tendency is not to trust.
Really did need the strike there to keep this game close, but he's now dropped down to...
It's still close. Still close. Still within 6.
there's the spare. So John with a 138 after 7. He has the spare in the 8th.
Here is
He'll
where
hold here
John's
in the
problem is. This is probably the pivotal frame of the match. If he strikes here, I'll give him a shot. If he doesn't strike here, he's going to be in trouble. Let's see
And
what
this
he
has
does.
been the lane that he's had trouble getting strikes
He's left
too.
of the pocket every
Yep.
frame. And it's a nice frame, pivotal frame. Really important. Looks intense enough. Let's see what happens. Looks left again. Right through the nose. Left of the pocket, all 5 balls.
And with that, he scores a 156th in the 8th frame. We'll try and cover this one. John has not had an open frame in this game, but as we've said, Jules, just not being able to hit the pocket on the left side's hurt him today.
Yeah. Of course, the game is still within a mark. Anything can happen. 48 alley being a little bit tighter, there's always a chance that Rita could get a pocket split, which I wouldn't wish on anybody, especially Rita. Rita's a good friend. But, you know, with the lane being a little flatter, that's always a possibility.
John covers that spare, so he has that one in the 9th. And now Rita Justice, the first state lanes, bowling in the 9th. She has a strike working in the 8th frame. 144s are counted in the 7th.
Good follow through. Good follow
Well,
through.
she almost had that split you were talking about, Jules. The 10-pin stays, though.
Follow through kept the ball in play, so it's in the pocket. The lane is a little flatter. Does make a difference.
Lone 10-pin, lane 48 here at Holiday. Rita's going for it. Her spare here would give her an 8-pin lead, and Jules, you're right. It is, it's a tight one.
Yeah. All right. She missed the 10, if you remember, Chris, in the 2nd frame. Starting out with back-to-back opens. We have an 8-pin match. It could go either way.
Now we're in the 10th frame, and of course, Rita, wanting to put John away here, is going to want to strike. And a double, of course, would really put some pressure on, huh?
A double would close it out.
Yeah.
Whereas, a mark, any kind of mark would make John double.
So Rita's looking to put this one away right now on lane 47. Now remember, John comes back on lane 48 to finish up his game, and he has had some success there.
He's had 3 strikes out of 4 balls.
And Rita hammers it home.
Rita is not going to give him a shot, I don't think. She's hit that lane every time, although the first couple were breaks. I think she's much more comfortable over there than over on the right, because the right lane wasn't giving away anything. I think she can get away with a little bit on 47, so she just might take advantage of it and put him away early. The spread is still only 8 pins.
That's right, John is certainly not out of this match yet. Another strike, though, would do it.
Yeah, one more strike here. She looked pretty comfortable, but she had to get another break to get it.
Oh, it goes over and strikes for Rita, and she now, with that double, is working on a game, well, in excess of 210. She needs a count of 6 or more. And that'll put her into the 2 teens, which is a few pins above her average.
That's pretty good. It's starting out 22 down in the second frame.
Solid, confident bowling by Rita Justice, giving her the victory in this exhibition match this afternoon. And her final ball of this game is there, a little tap, and down goes the 10.
All right.
So Rita Justice strikes out and finishes with a 214 for this game.
John doesn't have to feel bad getting beat by a woman bowler because Rita is one of the best woman bowlers that he'll ever meet, let alone bowl against.
Well, he made no mistakes as far as covering his spares are concerned, but when you get into this caliber of play, we're talking strikes, and John just didn't get as many strikes as he could. There's one in the 10th.
Yeah.
And that brings him a count of 176 in the 9th. And he needs another strike to finish out with a 200 game.
Yeah, it was the left lane that made the difference. Rita got a few breaks over there, and John never got near the pocket, and that was the difference.
And coming up, remember, we'll be seeing the Junior Bowlers Gazette's Top 10 tournament. The 6 youth divisions will be bowling here in their head-to-head championships. We'll be seeing the Bantam boys, Bantam girls, the junior boys and junior girls, as there goes
John
another
gets a
strike
break.
for John. Huh?
And he was saying he couldn't get a break.
He did cross over there on that side and wind up with a strike. And so John, without any calamity, will wind up with a game in excess of 200. So it was a good, close exhibition match. And I think the crowd who's assembled here to watch the kids bowl are given a real treat today.
Yes, sir. 214 to 206 of his strikes.
Final ball by John Thompson Jr.
A little wide.
He'll wind up with 7, and that leaves him a 203. So there you go. Rita Justice wins this exhibition match, 214 to 203.
Sheehy for